everybody, I'm Rachel from Mrs. Rachel Brady. I blog and vlog about family, food and home, and today's video is a Stanley 6-month routine video, like a day in the life of Stanley. And this is Stanley, so if that sounds interesting to you, then why not keep watching? So for those of you that don't know, I'm a stay-at-home, kind of work-at-home mum. I've got an 8-year-old boy, Arthur, a 6-year-old girl, Beatrix, and this is Stan, and he's 6 months old, almost exactly. Yeah, so today's video is his routine. I recorded it a couple of days ago, and it was quite a good routine day. As far as I was concerned, it was a very kind of no makeup, catch up with the housework day, and I just had like exercise gear on, so I look a bit of a state in this video, but it was very much real. And it was quite a good day as our routine went. He did really well. He's a very good baby. He's a baby that's happy on a routine. I'm a very routine mom. I loosely follow Gina Ford. I will link to my all my baby items that I show in the description box below, and I will also put my basic outline of my routine where we're at right now below as well, the feeding times and the sleeping times and stuff like that. So without further ado, here is Stanley's 6-month baby routine. So our day starts at 7 AM, that's my alarm going off, and I go in and I get Stanley up. I put the little lamp on and I unwrap him and I pick him up, and generally I give him a little cuddle first just to let him come round, and I give him a little kiss just before. The first thing of course is to change his nappy. So because we're weaning him, his poos have completely changed from like runny things into like little balls that he does throughout the day. We generally just use Fred and Flo, like supermarket owned nappies, which are really good, I think. Once I've changed his nappy, I open the blinds. We've got blackout blinds as well as curtains. We live in an old house and we're yet to renovate those windows, so we kind of need the double warmth. And then I carry him downstairs with any remnants from the night before. We are just onto the follow-on milk, but in the morning, first thing, I will generally use an instant. I'm terrible for always using instants. I'm just not organised enough to use this powder stuff. So I make his bottle. I also put his banana porridge in a bowl and put some boiling water on top. So I get all the things that I need to feed him. He is currently sat in a little baby bumbo type chair. I give that a little stir and I take everything I need over to him where he's been patiently waiting. And now it's about 7:15 and I stir the porridge up, and first of all I give him his bottle, and I can't stop kissing him. He's so cute. And I give him his bottle, and because he did feed, we generally aren't feeding him in the night, but as it so happened on this video, the night before we had fed him, so he wasn't absolutely starving. So as you can see, he only had not even half his bottle there. So once he's had as much milk as he wants, I pop him in the little bumbo. That's a mama and papa's, I call it a bumbo, I'm not sure what it's actually called, little seat, because he's not quite ready for the high chair yet. And I give him his porridge, and I give him a bit of porridge and I give him a bit of water. He's not really ready to hold the sippy cup yet. He can hold it, but he generally just kind of bangs it, so I help him with that. And then he finished all of his porridge and I put him in his little seat. Well, he's already in his seat, sorry. I put the table game top thing, which goes with the seat, on there for a minute. And at about 7:39, the kids are generally up by now and having their breakfast, and he will just sit at the table with them, just loving what they're doing, just laughing along. And it's 8:04 here. I take him upstairs and he generally just has a little kick while I get ready. And on this day, all I was doing, I just put some exercise gear on because it was a very at-home day. I give him a little toy to play with normally on the bed. So once I'm dressed and I brush my teeth and wash my face and all those things, I pick him up and carry him downstairs, and I put him in this little, it's a mini fold-away jumperoo, this thing, and he just has a little bounce in there. Well, I tidy up the breakfast things, and that's my dog Hugo. He just wanders around, and as you can see, Stanley is really happy just bouncing along in there. We finish the rest of his bottle before we take the kids to school. So as you can see, he didn't even finish his bottle. That's because we fed him in the night, which is why generally speaking I don't feed him in the night. I put him in his little baby Bowden pram suit that he's grown out of this now. We're going to have to get a new one. So I give him a little wipe. I put him in his play suit and I put him in the buggy. He's just gone out of the bassinet into the upright position in the buggy. I'll link to my buggy below as well. It's really good if you live in the countryside and like going off-road. So at 8:39 we get the kids' bags together and we are going out the door, and he comes with us. I live really close to our school, to the kids' school, so I pop them down there. And once they have been dropped off, it is then about, let's have a look what the time is, 9:02. So this is back at home. I quickly make his next feed, trying to be organised here, and then we're off again. He's still awake at this point. I pop his dummy in and we get the dog and we go on a lovely dog walk. And I'm keeping an eye out here. Is he awake? Is he asleep? Because as soon as he's asleep, which is generally about 12 minutes past there, he is asleep, and I will recline the buggy and put the hood over, so it's like a dark little space for him to have a nap. And at this stage I'm only giving him half an hour nap, so when it's about half an hour there, look, 9:45, I wake him up. So I pop the seat back up and I tickle his face and just kind of talk to him and bring him round. This is like halfway around the dog walk. Then when we are at home, he's very happy there, look. When we're at home, I bring him in and have a little cuddle, and I take his pram suit off. And then again, yeah, he's in the jumperoo. And like I said in the intro, this day was a very kind of just cleaning catch-up day. So he was very, very happy to just kind of bounce along and hang out with me as I did my jobs. For about 15 minutes, I would say he's happy to do something, and then I pick it, and then he grizzles, so I pick him up, give him a cuddle, and we do something else. Often I will just carry him around while I'm doing my jobs. Yeah, so look, I think it's actually quite good exercise, isn't it? Carrying a baby and hoovering at the same time. So I just kind of carry him around the house on days like this. To be honest, because he's my third baby, we don't do a great deal of activities. That sounds bad, but yeah, so here he is. He was on the mat before, and now I'm changing his nappy. This is mid-morning, and I'm just hanging out actually I'm taking some washing in. He's in the sling there, which I often have him in the sling, but he's getting so heavy for that now, so I actually bought a back carrier the other day. Here he is. It was a lovely day. We're just folding up some wash in there, and he's very happy there. It's almost 11 o'clock and it's time for the 11 o'clock bottle. By this point he's really ready for his bottle. As you can see, he has most of it, but he leaves a bit, and then we'll have that when he goes down. I'm actually doing some Tesco online shopping here, and he's in his bouncer. And then at about 11:45 I put him back in his little bumbo seat and feed him. Today he had like beef stew whizzed up in the NutriBullet, so just what we have whizzed up, and again some water. I do give him shop bought baby food, but I'm trying to do more homemade baby food, so I try and balance the two. So he's ready for his nap. This is probably about 10 to 12 now, and I just give him a little wipe up around his face, change his nappy, put him back into his little sleeping bag, and at this point he's always so super ready for a nap. So his nap is at 12 o'clock, so it's 11:52. I pick him up and I take him round into the nursery, and I put the blinds down and close the curtains, and I sit, and I've got that little bit of milk left over, and I just give him a cuddle and give him his milk, and then I sit with him for a minute with his dummy in as well. And I just love this time when he's like really ready for his nap and he's just like going off to sleep. But I'm always quite careful, ideally to put him down when he's still slightly awake. As you can see, he is there. So I put a little blanket over him. There is a little heater in here. It's quite a drafty room. We live in a very old farmhouse, so I make sure the temperature is right. I link up the baby monitor, and as you can see, 19 degrees, which is about perfect. So it is about 1:15, and at 12:40 on the dot, he woke up, and I was charging my camera, so I didn't film it, but I dashed upstairs with some milk and settled him off, and that does happen quite a lot. So at like 12:35, 12:40, he often goes into he'll go into like a light sleep cycle, and he'll wake up. And so the key to nailing this routine that we're doing has been just learning how to settle him back down. So I do it with a little bit of milk if there's none left from before, and his dummy, and I just kind of alternate them, cuddle him, and then I put him back down, and I keep my hand on his head for like 20 seconds, and then I kind of gradually move away like that. So hopefully he will be down now till 2:30. Okay, so now it's 2:30, and he starts to stir, so I go upstairs and get him, and if he's had a good nap like he did on this day, he's always in a really good mood, and it's so cute. He's all smiley and stuff. So I just pull the blankets back, open the curtains, get all the bits and bobs that were in there, like the bottle and so on, and take him downstairs once I've opened the blinds. And then, yep, he's done another poo. He's constantly pooing at the minute, just constantly pooing. So I changed his nappy again. I actually just normally put the poo down the toilet and put the nappy in the bin. We are thinking about going over to cloth nappies, but not done it yet. So he has a little play on the mat, and I offer him a bottle at 2:30, but like in this instance he didn't want it, so I think he's going to drop off a bottle, and it might be that one next. I have a little play with him, might read a book or might go outside, or this is just like playing this little game that we do, like a horsey. And he's always in such a good mood after it. Now, I did a bit of catch-up work while he's in the sling, so it's just one of those days where he just hangs out with me and he's very happy to do so. And then at about 3:25, I put my coat on. This day I did it in the sling, but sometimes I take him in the buggy to go and pick up the kids. And then when we get back, 4 o'clock here, I'm giving him his bottle. This is actually the 2:30 bottle, because the whole routine's in transition at the minute. He will drop off that bottle, I think, next. So he has a bit of his bottle about that time. Again, look, there's half of it left. Then at like 4:20, I start thinking about his tea, which he has at 4:30. Today it was fish pie from the night before, whizzed up. And he really, really liked that. So he had fish pie with water. And he also had a dessert. I only give him dessert once a day. That's like a pear and custard thing, I think, from Heinz. I did a bit more work on the computer, and he was happy to just sit while I did that. And then he was a bit grizzly, so I gave him a bit of Calpol, because I think he was beginning to get a bit teethy. Then at 5 o'clock, I give him his 5 o'clock bottle. This also doubles up normally as his bedtime bottle, but on this day I let him finish off his 2:30 bottle. Then we have our tea, and he sits on the table, and he really likes just sitting with us all. And depending on what we're having, I might like kind of give him a little bit of what we're having, if it's like nice and soft and pureable. And then 6:02, I take him upstairs, and he gets really excited around this time of day because he loves his bath so much, and he has a good little kick while I run the bath and take his clothes off and have a little cuddle. He absolutely loves bath time. I put the little baby seat in. He's kind of growing out of that. He's ready for the next phase, really. I move everything out of the way. I use Child Farm bubbles, which I really like. He has a little bit of mild eczema, and this is the only thing that he will tolerate. I put the bits and bobs that he needs on the radiator to warm, and then that is the moisturizer that I use as well. I get everything out, everything is ready, and then we always have a little look in the mirror, and he smiles and laughs and waves at himself. Well, he doesn't wave, he just seems to recognise that is himself in the mirror. Then we have a little bath. Sometimes one of the kids joins us. On this day they didn't. Then I get him out, dry him off. I always use the Child Farm moisturiser. It really did help with the eczema, especially on his face. You can actually use it around his eyes, which, well, we could on Stanley. And then at 6:30, we go downstairs. I don't put him in his bag because it's normally warm with the fire on, and I give him his bedtime bottle. And at 22 on this day, he had flaked. So ideally, the idea is at kind of 7 o'clock you take him up, and he's still awake when you put him in his bag, but he was proper just asleep here, as you can see. Yeah, he went down. The idea is that you put them down awake and all that stuff, but he was just absolutely flaked. So we turn the light off, and that is pretty much that. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Yeah, so like I say, it was quite a good routine day. He did go down okay at lunch, but he needed settling, which he did again today. He often needs settling again, which is, I feel like it's key to kind of getting this routine right where we are. So the night before we filmed, I did feed him in the night. The night of the filming, if you like, we didn't feed him in the night. I would say like 8 times out of 10 at the minute, or 9 times out of 10, we're not feeding him in the night, but sometimes he won't really settle. He slept through the day of filming. That night he slept through till, I think it was 5:30, and I went in and put his dummy in, and then he settled again and woke at 7. So most of the time, because I didn't film at night, I just wanted to say at night, he is mostly not waking up in the night right now. That is not to say he doesn't. Normally, like I say, I settle him with his dummy, and I try not to feed him in the night because I just don't believe he needs to be fed in the night right now, even during growth spurts. So when I feed him in the night, he wakes up in the day the next day and doesn't have as much milk, which is what you saw in the video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, guys, and let me know if you want to see more kind of baby related and routine type videos, because I might do a few. And I really enjoyed making that video. So, oh, don't forget, I keep meaning to say this, come over and see me on Instagram, Mrs. Rachel Brady, because I am just hanging out there all the time. So that's all, guys. Bye.